Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's the Sketch Monkey here, and this is a special one. Today we're gonna try and redesign the Datsun 240Z, one of my personal favorite cars of all time. It's up there with the 250 GTO when it comes to beauty, so I can feel there is a little bit of pressure on me right now, but let's see what we can do. I can't really remember how many times I've sketched the 240Z. To me, it's just a beautiful car. The proportions are just spot on. And here I'm using some analog sketching. I just wanted to show you a few old sketches that I've done of the 240Z to kind of go into the Photoshop version that we're gonna do in a minute here. I'm using print paper, actually I'm using marker paper right here. I like to use print paper for most of my sketches, but sometimes, you know, I have a bunch of marker paper that I need to use at some point. So every now and then I just jump into the marker sketchbook and just put down some lines like this. And also the markers, of course, are alcohol based, so that means that they can blend very well. And you want to use that if you're going to do similar drawings and sketches with markers. You want to use alcohol based markers to get them to blend properly. And this is another side view that I did a while back. Decided to make it red, almost pink, but it looks cool. I got some cool shading in here, also using black to get the contrast up. The idea with the redesign though that we're gonna jump into soon, it's kind of tough because I don't have any complaints about the 240Z design. I think it's a masterpiece, really. I think they did a great job in the 60s and 70s to get it right. And I think this is one of those designs that is going to, you know, be timeless. You can look at it 500 years from now and it's still going to be a beautiful sculpture. And this is a just a short Photoshop painting of a 240Z I did a while back as well. All right, so let's jump into the main version here today of the 240Z. Of course, I'm using Photoshop, as you know, probably. And what I wanted to do, I wanted to keep the basic shape of the 240Z. I didn't want to mess with the perfection of the lines. I just wanted to make it, for example, the section lines and stuff like that. In the 70s, it looked a lot different than what they do today. So those are the kind of the things that I wanted to focus on. I wanted to make the section lines and the cut lines and later on the headlights, make them look both modern, but at the same time keep the feel of the old version of the Datsun 240Z, and also keep those elements, these basic main elements of the 240Z. So you have the huge front lip. I wanted to do something with that, but in a modern way. I'm gonna design it later on and change the shape of it. And right now I'm just playing around with the shape of it and try to figure out where I want to take this, because that's always the hardest part with these sketches, is this first initial step. You just put down some shading, you put down some lines, and then you kind of see what sticks, what you can work with, and the more lines you put down, the more ideas you get. So if you're doing something similar like this and you feel like you're stuck, the easiest way to get unstuck is to just keep putting down random lines. They don't need to really mean anything at the moment, but when you put down these lines, that's when you start to see where you want to take the sketch. And now I'm starting to work on the headlights for this 240Z. I wanted to integrate them more into the body of the car, so you have this beefy line that goes over the side of the hood, and I wanted to sharpen that up as well and have it dip more smoothly than it does on the old one, and kind of modernize the whole shape of it, and also define the bulge on the hood a bit more by adding some contrast to it, and add some splitters. Why not? I'm gonna work on these later. This is just to put it out there so I know to remember to work on those later. As soon as I get an idea for something that I want to do, I just put a blob of gray or black or whatever it is, just like I did with the splitter there, because that tells me later on if I you know, I won't forget to come back and work on that later. That's also a good idea if you're doing similar work like this, is to just put if you have an idea, put it down, and then you can come back and figure it out later. It's so much easier than to try to define everything as soon as you get the idea. Just put the lines out or the basic shapes out, and then you can come back and work on it later. I like to use airbrush. As you can see, that's kind of the style that I do in Photoshop, is to put down massive areas of airbrush and then use either the hard eraser or the airbrush eraser to erase the excess airbrush and define what it is I want to do. So you can see here I'm creating a shoulder line at the back using the airbrush and also using the hard eraser. And now I'm going into the airbrush eraser to get the smooth transition between the body panels. And at this point, I kind of know where I want to take this car. So now it's all about adding all the details and add all the features that are gonna make it look like a real car. Right now it doesn't have a lot of detail in it. So we want to add all the section lines and the cut lines. For example, here I'm working on the cut lines for the lamp and for the headlight and the what's it called, the burn points and highlights, and add some sparkle and shine to this design. And that's what I'm gonna do from now on. I'm gonna add the highlights and work on the front splitter and also add the thickness to the body of the car. And that's about it. The shape is done. It's all about adding all the details and shading and work on that from here on. Now I wanted to talk about a question, or kind of answer a question that I saw in the comments, I think today or yesterday, or I can't remember, but it was about careers within design. How do you start your career within auto design, automotive design, or product design, industrial design, and so on? And my experience is going to be, I think everyone's experience is a little bit different. There is not going to be one set way which you go about and then go out and create a career in design. For me personally, as I said in the previous video, I wanted to be a car designer, so I went down to Italy and studied a master in car design. And for the portfolio there that I sent, it wasn't anything special really. It was just you gotta have a passion for sketching, obviously, and you gotta have a passion for design, and that's specifically important when it comes to car design, because car design is special. It's a lot about aesthetics and looks of a car, because a car, I said this before too, a car is supposed to give you a feeling when you look at it. It's supposed to a car has a personality when you look at the design of the car. So it's different from product design, which is a lot about function in combination with design, obviously. I mean, we do have that in car design as well, but it's a lot more, the styling has a lot more significance in car design, especially if you're working with big brands, because brand identity today is kind of loose, but as brands, they gotta have a specific way of doing things. I remember when I was in Italy and we were doing this project with Audi, and they had I think he was some sort of chief or exterior designer at Audi, and he just showed this book, almost like a book of rules of how to design an Audi. So you have all these design rules when you work at Audi as a designer, which you have to follow because it has to do with the brand identity. And that was kind of interesting. I had no idea that that's how it works. So that was kind of eye-opening. You don't really have a lot of freedom if you work with big brands. So the fun thing would be doing designs for smaller companies. It would be cool to be a designer, for example, for Kia 10 years ago, because they had zero brand identity and they were looking for a new design language. And when you come into a company at that point, that could be really interesting, because then you have a lot to say and you can actually be a part of how the brand is going to be designed moving forward for decades sometimes. But going back to the career part, it's all about pretty much who you know. That's my experience. So it depends on who you know and who you can get in touch with, or who they can help you get in touch with. For example, all the jobs that I've had working as a designer, I don't think I've showed my diploma at one time. Not my bachelor's degree, not my master in car design either. Nobody has ever asked to look at my diploma. I just got in front of the right people thanks to friends that already had the connection with them. So you want to, nurture your network and give value as much as you can. Try to figure out what it is you specifically can do to help whatever company you want to work with. So what skill set do you have at the moment that will be of value for the company that you want to work with? So that obviously has to work out. So you need to have some specific skill that will help the company move forward, or help them out with to reach their new goals. And that's a lot about just researching the company, and make sure that your portfolio, if you're sending a portfolio, that it's in line with the company's goals. So you can research where the company is going, what they're trying to do, and then maybe you can even make a project in your portfolio for that specific goal. So you kind of give them the whole rundown from idea to materials, to what kind of process manufacturing methods and all of that I don't really care about because it's too boring for me. That's by the way why I quit industrial design, because I just want to sketch all day. So anyway, that's a good idea to get the person's attention or the company's attention, and maybe hopefully get your foot in the door. It's all about thinking, be a little bit clever, and come up with some cool ideas on how you can help the company, and that's about it. And then you just keep sending emails and calling companies, and maybe you get a chance to come by and say hello and introduce yourself. If you have any more questions about careers, I don't know what specifically you want to know, or if you even want to know anything about careers, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to help you out with that if I can. So we're pretty much done with the 240Z. So here's the before and after. I added some contrast in the body. I love adding contrast and reflections and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed this video just as much as I enjoyed making it. And as always, if you have any recommendations or suggestions on what cars you want to see redone or modernized like this one, just let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate your time, for taking the time to write some comments. It means a lot. My goal, by the way, this year, I just want to put it out there because I think it has a meaning to it if you say it out loud. So I want to get to 200,000 subscribers by the end of this year. That is my personal goal, and I hope you can help me with that. So if you like these kind of videos, hit the subscribe button and let me know what you want to see in coming videos. I will talk to you soon. I'm the Sketch Monkey. Take it easy.